In today's video, I'll be comparing the two biggest Haikyuu games on Roblox, Haikyuu Legends and Spiked. I will be comparing these two games with 5 categories: gameplay, community, visuals, updates, and how pay to win the game is. I want to remind you that this is my opinion. You're obviously going to have different opinions. Make sure to let me know in the comments. Also subscribe and like to support your boy Kurosh. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, starting off with the first category, we have gameplay. Haikyuu Legends and Spiked are obviously going to have similar gameplay as they are both volleyball games, but the difference is how hard the mechanics could be, the difficulty, and the different game modes in both games. Haikyuu Legends mechanics are fairly similar to many other volleyball games, but in my opinion it's a lot more simple. In most volleyball games you have a power. You can set your power to whatever you want and you can hit with that power, and that power will make your spikes harder, your sets harder, or even less powerful. But with Haikyuu Legends, all you gotta do is click a few buttons like set button, which is Q, and that's basically it. The mechanics are fairly simple. Haikyuu Legends also has different styles you can become. These styles are characters bring in different categories. You got common, rare, legendary, godly, and secret. Obviously secret being the best category, so that game makes it kind of unbalanced, but I'm gonna go on that later. These characters make or differ your gameplay. These characters give you different little buffs like speed, serving, spiking, blocking, and so on. If you have a bad character, your gameplay is going to be a lot worse when you're versing another OP character. For an example, you have Hinata, a common character, and you're versing Suna, a secret character. Your gameplay is going to be very poor then. Spiked, on the other hand, has very hard mechanics to master. The mechanics are like any other volleyball game, and is very unique to the game Spiked. Spiked has charge up jumps, charge up power. It's very unique and very rewarding once you master and become good at the game, which is something I very much appreciate in Spiked. Spiked also has a system like styles in Haikyuu Legends, but instead it has physical ability, zone, and weapons. These weapons give you different abilities. For example, you have a weapon like boom jump and powerful. Boom jump gives you a higher jump, meaning you stay in the air for longer. Powerful meaning your sets and spikes are a lot more powerful than the average person. Heights being higher the height you are and more powerful you're going to be, but smaller hitbox you're going to have. These weapons and heights make the game very enjoyable trying to make a build for your specific position, but also makes it kind of stressful since if you don't get the build you want to be, you're left out with a garbage build. But it is fairly easy to get a legendary weapon. Legendary weapons are 5% and uniques are 1%. The rest are all passives, and it's fairly easy to yen, and rolling for weapon is not expensive at all since it is 2,500 yen. Haikyuu Legends also has no other game modes other than the original pickups. You could also do private matches, but those are outside of the game and that's something you have to do on your own. The only thing you could do is really 6v6, and the gameplay is very poor in these 6v6 pickups since everyone's just trying to ape the ball and spike it themselves. But on Spiked, on the other hand, it's very similar in pickups, but they also have a beach volleyball mechanics and they have queues you could queue up with your friends, so you can actually get a good team and be with friends. So for the gameplay category, I'm going to be giving this Spiked. I think Spiked 100% gets the gameplay category, so 1-0 Spiked. Next up, we have community. The player base in Spiked is a lot smaller than Haikyuu Legends, and I'm not sure why, because Spiked is just as good or even better as a game. The community for Spiked is kinda toxic. I'm not really sure how the Haikyuu Legends community is. I'm guessing it's around the same because all these volleyball games are like this. But something that differs the communities is leagues. So Spiked has a league that is made by the developers of Spiked, and they hired a manager of this league. And this league has very good rewards for the players who win the league, and they also hire streamers and commentators to make it enjoyable for the Spiked community. And they also pay these streamers and commentators, which is really unheard of these games, which is crazy. Haikyuu Legends has nothing to compete with this, and that's why I'm gonna give it to 2-0 Spiked. Next up, we have visuals. Visuals is a very controversial topic because some people like simpler visuals, some people like more advanced visuals. I think Haikyuu Legends has a very simple look to the game, but on the other hand, Spiked has a very more advanced look to the game. It's still very simple, but it's more like advanced in my opinion. But it really depends on what you like. The animations for Spiked are honestly very good. The spiking looks, the bumping, the bump stance, the sets. It really does not really compete with Haikyuu Legends. I think it's on a whole different tier, because even like the jump sets, Haikyuu Legends doesn't really have an actual mechanic for the game, and I think I'm gonna have to give visual to Spiked as well, so 3-0 Spiked. Next up we have is updates. So Haikyuu Legends does update the game a lot more than Spiked. I'm pretty sure Haikyuu Legends is updating once a week right now, and this is fantastic for any people liking this game. This means there's new content coming out to the game whenever they get on. Spiked, on the other hand, does not come up with updates just as frequent. I'm pretty sure they update around once a month to once every other month. Actually, yeah, it's once a month they update, which is not bad at all, but it's like not enough. But the only difference is that Haikyuu Legends' updates are a lot smaller than Spiked updates. The last update for Spiked, it was that they made the whole beach map, they made the team sections, which is pretty crazy. But for Haikyuu Legends updates, they just make like 1 or 2 characters. And for bugs, they both have their fair bit of bugs, but I think Spiked just has a bit more bugs in the game. For balancing, I think Haikyuu Legends looks like it balances a lot more, but I know for a fact that the Spike developers be updating and balancing their shit all the time behind everyone's backs in the shadows, but they just don't announce it to anyone. But there isn't really anything to really announce for balancing in Spike, just because of the fact that everything's really balanced right now, I think, and there isn't really anything to change. But I'm still gonna have to give this category to Haikyuu Legends, so this makes it 3-1. Next off we have is how pay to win both games are. Both games can be really pay to win on their own category, as in Haikyuu Legends you could buy lucky spins, VIP game passes, and a bunch of other game passes. Spiked, on the other hand, has no game passes, but you could buy a crap ton of yen and get crazy with your builds. But it doesn't really make that much of a difference if you do go pay to win, because everyone else really has the same amount of builds because of codes. Spiked really releases a crap ton of codes. Like right now there's like 290,000 yen worth of codes, which is crazy, and it could really make you an OP build in Spiked. Haikyuu Legends also does codes, like they do lucky spin codes. I'm pretty sure they give you like 1 or 2 lucky spins per codes, but it's not as much as Spiked. Spiked, you could also AFK for yen, which can make your builds a lot better and get yen a lot easier. You can just put your PC on overnight. I know everyone can't do that, but it's still out there. Just for the fact that you could buy lucky spins and all these game passes, I think that Haikyuu Legends is a lot more pay to win than Spiked. So I'm going to give this last category to Spiked, so that makes it 4-1 Spiked. So there we have it. Spiked is the better game. Do I think so? Yes. Do the stats lie? No. So 4-1 Spiked. I do think Spiked is a lot better game than Haikyuu Legends, and I don't think it's a competition. I know a lot of you guys like Haikyuu Legends better, but please try Spiked if you haven't yet. Anyways, make sure to comment down what I missed, or what I lied about, or I'm not spitting, or I'm just capping, or I'm just yapping. But yeah, make sure to subscribe, also like. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace out.
Can't mess with rappers, they be bogus. Rather get the pack and keep it open. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't focused yet, but he ain't got motion. Made a half a ticket, not promotion. Shout out sushi sweet, they keep me rolling, but if